We're going to be having the best man, Brian Lowe, do a toast in just a couple of moments.
So good to have all of you staring at me. Good evening. Obviously, my name is Brian, like you just said, Jason's best man for the day. And on behalf of Jason and Nikki, I'd like to thank all of you for being here. I know all of you have come from out of town, and I know they appreciate it. I'd also like to point out how great all the ladies of the wedding party look today. And of course, the beautiful bride, Nikki. She looks more beautiful than ever. I was sitting down this morning eating some cereal, and a thought occurred to me that I'd probably better come up with something to say, because I believe in being prepared. So I sat down, I couldn't come up with a damn thing. So I choreographed a little dance that I think expresses my feelings and basically says it all. I watched myself a few times in the mirror, and for the good of the group, I decided that I'd sit back down and try again. So we already know that Jason comes from a talented family. His father was a musician back in the day. His mother's a talented actress. His beautiful sister, obviously, you saw her singing here today. And so it should be no surprise that Jason himself is also talented. He played in a band, but he also, his biggest talent is in drawing and painting. So I thought, in honor of my good friend today, I would put together a little tribute to, plus also I feel that having visuals to go along with a brief history of our friendship might provide a greater impact. So, go ahead, Steve. So, obviously, the J is for Jason and B is Brian. Obviously, you can see back then I was a little bit short, and shorter than all my friends. So this is us in the 7th grade when we first met. He came from Tampa, which is about 30 minutes away over to St. Pete, and we didn't hang out too much when we first met, as far as I remember. But over the next couple of years, in 8th and 9th grade, we started to become a little bit better friends. So obviously, I started drinking milk, and I started to. Jason's still on the left. I'm still on the right. And one of my more vivid memories of Jason occurred one day when I went over to his house and I heard some music back in his room. I didn't know what it was, but I walked back in there and I turned a corner to find another one of our friends videotaping with a video camera, Jason jumping up and down dancing to MC Hammer. And he had on these big purple baggy MC Hammer pants. Each leg was about 3 feet wide, so everything just jumped around. It looked like he knew what you were doing. And of course I had to beg him to try him on. But throughout high school, we had different groups of people that we hung out with. We had different interests. We were both jocks in our respective sports. I played on the golf team. Jason was a wrestler. He wrestled with other guys on the floor. In tights. But even throughout those 4 years of high school, we had these different groups and interests. We maintained a pretty good friendship. But it wasn't until we went over to decided to come to UCF that we become roommates that we became much better friends. So Jason's still on the left and I'm still on the right. Moving in with a friend for the first time obviously isn't easy. You're set in your ways, and obviously sometimes you're going to clash. I always heard of stories of friends who go to college together. You develop different interests and getting involved with different groups, and they eventually grow apart as friends. But Jason and I ended up joining the same. You weren't done, but that's all right. Jason and I ended up joining the same fraternity and Lambda Chi. And we obviously got to spend a lot of time together. And I'm sure Jason would agree that was probably one of the best decisions we ever made, not only because of the times we had and the experiences, but the friends that we got out of it, most of which are in this room. And having a good friend from back home to share our experiences with made it that much greater. But and seeing Jason up here, it's just a lot easier when you're standing in the shower by yourself. Seeing Jason up here reminds me of how much he's grown, or at least evolved. Jason's always tried to offer me advice. I don't know why I keep grabbing my ear, but Jason's always tried to offer me advice, kind of like that fatherly advice, like he had been through so much and I hadn't. I don't know why, even when I didn't even ask for it. And it used to be about girls and where to party till 5 a.m. with glow sticks. And now it's about hanging rain gutters and laying mulch around the yard. And I lost my spot. But anyway, over the years, you develop friendships and hang out with different groups of people that sometimes they come and go and fade away a little bit for one reason or another. But Jason's always been a constant friend that I could always count on, and he's always been there. I consider myself lucky to have him as a friend, and I'm proud and honored to be standing here as your best man. And that takes us to a couple years after graduation. Jason and I were at a downtown establishment having a beverage, standing by the wall, checking out the scenery. And we spotted a friend of ours, a girlfriend of ours from high school who we went to high school with. And next to her was standing a pretty cute blonde. And of course we commented to each other how cute she was, because that's what single guys do when you're standing by the wall. And so, I figured at that time, I had a few drinks, and I decided that I would, throw my vibe out across the room, because it works for me. And, so I turn around for a couple seconds to check my hair and make sure it was in place in the reflection of a window or something. I turn around, Jason's gone. I'm standing there by myself with my drink against the wall. Of course, I spot Jason across the room. He's talking to that cute blonde, and he managed to somehow get her number. Ended up taking her out a few times. And of course, that was Nikki. And obviously, it worked out for the best. Sorry about that. Here we are today. Sorry, I lost my spot. But I was thinking not too long ago how great it is that I get along and love all my friends, wives and girlfriends and fiancés, and this is especially true with Nikki. She's a terrific person, and I knew she was perfect for Jason when I first met her. I know she doesn't put up with this crap, and I know she's a strong individual, because I lived with Jason for 3 years, and she still agreed to go through with this today. But I just want to say I love you guys, and I appreciate being part of this. I'm proud to be up here, and I feel like one of my responsibilities today is to give the newlyweds some marital advice. And seeing how my longest relationship has lasted no longer than 6 months, I don't feel I'm entirely qualified to do so. So I went out to some of our married friends in the audience and to get a few pieces of advice. So here you go. And they'll remain anonymous. A man who gives in when he is wrong is wise. A man who gives in when he is right is married. Always communicate and make sure that you're best friends, because friendships never fade. And it looks like this one's to Jason. I hope you'll be letting your hair down tonight, seeing how it's your hair that's been letting you down for the past 5 years. It's not me, man. I don't know who wrote that one. It looks like this was written by a female for Jason. Take a good look at your single friends. You may never see them again, at least until they've met specific and widely accepted criteria. And in parentheses, see back for definition of criteria. When a single person engages in a relationship for no less than 6 months with a minimum of 10 public appearances together, or a ring on her finger. Communicate frequently and communicate with respect. Nikki deserves a caring, loving, and responsible husband. Jason, it's a good thing you married her before she found one. That's not me. I left my key under the back doormat. Remember to be quick. I'm sorry, that was for me. Saying I love you is easy. Showing it is much harder, but much more important. And That's it. So one more thing, one more thought. While I don't have a marital advice, like I am, but so in all my years, there's one last thought I can leave you. Jason, Nikki, put your hand on the table. Jason, put yours on top of hers. This will be the last time you have the upper hand in this relationship. I know you're tired of hearing me talk, and I agree with you. So if you'll raise your glass, Jason and Nikki. Cheers.
He's driving, it's cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, your best man, Jose Rilo. You know, Ryan, I might actually, incorporate a new service that you are, DJ service, that'd be like, rent a best man. You're good.